In 5.4, we get the sum and difference formulas for sine and for tangent. Again, you're probably not going to memorize those, but you need to reference them and then know how to use them. So for sine A plus B, it's sine, cosine, cosine, sine. There's a plus and then a minus. The sign matches, so that plus matches that. Tan of A plus B is a little more complicated. Tan A plus tan B over 1 minus, and then you multiply them. And here the difference is the signs switch. So just make sure you can reference those and have them handy. Okay. All right, so just to look at a few problems in this area, and then we'll look at your homework problems. So find each, so you have sine of 5 pi over 12. It's very similar to the cosine. You have to find two things that will add up. So 5 twelfths, here's 2 twelfths, here's 3 twelfths. And you want to think of the main angles. So that's 1/6, 1/4, 1/3, pi over 6, pi over 4. It's kind of like that. Change to twelfths to find what adds to 5 twelfths. We've already done that a couple of times. So once we have it, then we're just plugging in just like we did with the cosine formula. So very similar to what we've been doing. Now with tangent, that's a little bit new on how we do that, so let's kind of go through that. So tangent of 5 pi over 12. We're going to add pi over 6 plus pi over 4 because that's 2 twelfths and 3 twelfths. So our A is pi over 6, B is pi over 4. Put it into the formula. Tan of pi over 6 plus tan of pi over 4 over 1 minus, and then we multiply these. So tangent of pi over 6 is square root of 3 over 3. Tangent of pi over 4 is 1. So we have square root of 3 over 3 plus 1 over 1 minus, multiply those. So up top here, we need one fraction. So if you turn 1 into 3 over 3, you have square root of 3 plus 3 over 3. Down here, you've got 1 minus the square root of 3, so you have 3 over 3 minus square root of 3 over 3. So we got that. That's a complex fraction, so we're going to flip this bottom one, which goes here, and we're going to multiply. The 3's cancel out, so now we have square root of 3 plus 3 over 3 minus the square root of 3. We're not allowed to have radicals in the bottom of a fraction, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of this. If you've had algebra, you'll remember that. And we'll multiply by 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 plus the square root of 3. On top, you can do FOIL. So square root of 3 times 3 is 3 square roots of 3. And then outer, square root of 3 times square root of 3 gives you 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. So we're here. And then last gives you 3 square roots of 3. On the bottom, we should get no radicals. That's the whole point. So 3 times 3 is 9. We don't have a middle term because we got 1 minus and 1 plus. They'll cancel out. And we have minus square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. So on the bottom, we get 6. Up here, we have 6 square roots of 3 plus 12. And we're going to divide 6 both places. So here we're left with square root of 3, here we're left with 2, and that's our final answer. So lots of algebra in there in working with that one. For sine 76 cosine 31 minus cosine 76 sine 31, we need to recognize that's the sine, that's the difference formula. So it's sine of 76 minus 31, which is sine of 45, which is square root of 2 over 2. So in this, we're kind of working backwards. Sine 40 cosine 50 plus cosine 40 sine 50, that's the sine of A plus B. So that's the sine of 90, which is 1. All right. write as a single function of x, tan of pi over 4 plus x. So this is an angle and this is an angle. So we have tan of that plus tan x, 1 minus, these are multiplied. So remember that tan of pi over 4 is 1. So we have 1 plus tan x over 1 minus, that's 1. So now we have 1 minus tan x. And we've done what they asked. It wanted to be just a function of x. And we don't have any other things in there, so we're good. 43 is one of those where you're given two functions in two quadrants, and we're supposed to find the difference, the sine difference and the tan difference. So again, you're drawing a triangle for each one, make that a little bigger, in the correct quadrant, find the missing piece, write all three, go ahead and write all three out, what you get. So we have sine, cosine, and tan, sine, cosine, tan. Then you just use the formulas like we've been doing, filling in the pieces, multiplying or adding, and then simplifying. Tangent would be down here. A little bit more work. There's a lot of algebra there, so you can see that in the lecture notes. It's some algebra going on, but hopefully you can follow that and see what you're doing. So I think that will get you through this section.